How did Abigail Marston die? Now, I do want to say this is a sequel to the short, and I did work really hard on this by doing research, and I would like to apologize for something. In my short, I said she could have got infected by something like the flu. However, after doing more research, I realized this wasn't really a problem until like the end of World War I, so I apologize for that misunderstanding. But I did find some diseases she could have suffered from, like typhus, influenza, trench fever, tuberculosis. However, I don't think it was tuberculosis, as Abigail lived on like a ranch far away from like everything. Well, she had to do like a decent horse ride to get to Blackwater, and there was only like one small post, so I don't think it was TB, but I'm still gonna mention. And typhoid fever. Now, most of these I don't think she could have died from, aside from maybe trench foot, which was caused by like damp conditions, which she did have to work in a lot. Obviously, she was a ranch owner. And you may be thinking, well, it's most likely typhus. That was like spread very easily. It was only a problem in the east. And as we know, the Marston family lives in West Elizabeth. So, yeah, that automatically gets cut out. But one disease that really stood out to me that I think she could have suffered from is the yellow fever, which is from mosquitoes. Which this would make sense based off her work, considering she worked outside in a ranch all day. And you could argue, well, most people get over yellow fever in a few days. Abigail could have thought it was just a headache. And as you know, Abigail and Jack weren't exactly friends with the government at this point after what they did. And so they didn't really want to go near the Blackwater, like Manzanita area. So it makes sense if like Abigail just thought it was a headache, then all of a sudden, yeah. So without proper rest and like treatment and like getting exposed to like more stuff, and it was decently big during the time in the 1910s. So I think out of every disease, this is most likely the one. But I would take my thinking with a grain of salt, because I got most of my information from Google and some other sources, and mostly reliable sources. However, I'm not a doctor, and I wasn't around in that time, so there's no explicit answer we can know. And Rockstar probably will never tell us. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But all what I'm saying is speculation. And she could have died from anything. She could have died from like blood loss from like a ranch injury. There could be plenty of other options aside from disease. And we're going to look at some of those. Now, this one is kind of unfortunate, but it doesn't involve any disease or ranch work. One of my theories, I don't think this would have happened, but after John Marston died, Abigail like kind of like slowed down a bit, and eventually she just got so sad realizing Jack was an adult and was going to leave her soon again. So then she like kind of just like sat in bed and didn't do anything, and eventually like died from like starvation or something. I don't believe this, but I'm just like throwing it out there. Anyway, this is probably going to be for today's video. Again, this is all speculation. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Maybe one day Rockstar will come up and just tell us. Anyway, that's going to be for today's video. Let me know what you think. If I got anything wrong, please let me know. I love to improve my videos each day. Well, I don't upload every day, but whatever. Anyway, I worked really hard on this, so if you want more stuff like this, I'll be willing to do more research next time and like better editing. Have anyone who's watching this have an amazing day. And thank you guys for 100 subscribers, and goodbye. Also, please go watch the short. I think it was pretty good. And if you want more info, just go watch it, please. Bye-bye.